All right. Hello, and welcome back to our farewell tour for Jurassic World Evolution 2. I have just taken some melatonin, and I have had way too many sweets because I am very healthy as an individual. But it's fine because I dieted for the whole month to a unhealthy degree. So now I'm taking this time to, I don't know, enjoy the... Uh-oh. I am streaming. Cool. Okay. Yeah, I'm taking this time to kind of enjoy myself, which I don't think is necessarily a crime. So, here we are, back in Jurassic World Evolution 2, and it is so dark, but that's fine. But we have a park going, and I want to get some more dinosaurs. So we have this first segment of Styracosaurus, Torosaurus, and Ceratosaurus. I do want to extend more into the Jurassic side of things. So where did I get the Ceratosaurus from? Portugal. Alright, I guess Concavenator is the next step. Go into the wonderful world of Spain. And, oh boy, I am not doing well when it comes to money. Finances be damned. Let me get something to actually let people view the Ceratosaurus. Let's get some of these. And once again, I don't know what the issue is. I don't know why my carnivores are going to be infinitely agitated. The storm is looking like a reason, but that's neither here nor there. Concavinator, last name I don't remember. $50,000. That's most of my funds, but that's fine. You should be doing perfectly fine. Yes, the answer is you are. You're just being excessively rude. Because one of the mods I have installed is probably making you all very agitated. But we have a lovely little winter wonderland going right now. Let me, I guess, max out my Concavinator. Let me take a moment to walk through this lovely land. So, welcome to the stream. For those who have missed it, this is the park that we have so far. We have our staff area right through here, but into the park properly, we open with a nice little look into our late Cretaceous North America right here. So we have Edmontosaurus alongside Torosaurus, Dracorex, and Pachycephalosaurus. In this little enclosure here, you can sit down on a bench, take a look in, look through these binoculars here. Have a few vending machines, and on the left-hand side, we have our lovely Styracosauri, enjoying the pleasures of the snow. While you can also step right up and get a closer look at our North American paddock. Grab the light. More guest stuff, and then we have our lovely Ceratosaurus over here. Our very not helpful Ceratosaurus. That's neither here nor there. Let me add some height, because otherwise it's going to be way too dark for way too long. Run the town, outside, turn up, it's going down, showcase house, dun. I still have K-pop Demon Hunters stuck in my head, rightfully so. as it remains the best animated picture of the year. And it was robbed at the VMAs. And I will fight anyone watching this video who disagrees. And I can fight, especially when you're invoking the name of my beloved huntress. So don't mess. All right, got a nice little area that is. I'm out of money. That's funny. That's funny. Never get that in normal sandbox gameplay. Guess I'll wait. Out of cash. You're funny. You're funny, game. Okay, we have no guests, which definitely is contributing to our lack of profit. Alright, how do I max? Alright, income. Let's get rid of some of these things that are driving costs up. There we go. Operating now at a profit. Will it be enough of a profit? Unlikely. Still not operating at a full profit. Huh. We are now operating in profit, and we are now hoping for the best, as that is all that we can do during this terrible snowstorm, considering that it literally made it impossible to actually view the dinosaurs. So, yeah, thank you, game. Jerk. Now that I have no money. Huh. 20,000. Jesus Christ, how much did I spend on these ramps? What the hell? Why are paths so expensive? Danger of bankruptcy. Don't worry, game. We'll make a profit. We'll make a profit. Already working on it. Okay, this shop might need to get shut down. The drink shop, we're gonna change you to something that'll bring in guests. But what? What is in demand? Nothing. Nothing is in demand. We're just gonna close it. Just so it stops hemorrhaging our money. Because otherwise, I'm gonna actually lose my mind. But anyhow. The sun should be coming up soon. And we're back at having a profit. Yay. Let me add these viewing paths all along the Ceratosaurus enclosure. Insufficient funds because, of course. Give it a minute. Now there should be viewing all into that paddock. Yes. I do want to put some decoration against the fence, just so that our foolish guests don't simply put their fingers through it. But I don't know. I don't know about what in particular would be wise to buffer the fence. Not sure. You know what? I'm gonna do something else. I'm gonna make a little something else before we get into Concavinator, who I want to display in a different way. I want to do something different for each of these creatures. Let's see. Ceratosaurus is chilling. Gladly. I'm gonna add a few trees for it, because otherwise I'm gonna feel like he's gonna get a little sad and lonely. And I can't be having Ceratosaurus feeling sad and lonely, so we find Mediterranean and just add a few sparse trees. And I'm gonna add some rocks into this enclosure as well. Just so that, you know, the enclosure is nicer, so I feel nicer about keeping him in here. So otherwise it feels a little bit mean to just have him in this, like, this empty little place. I want this to almost feel like a home for him. Almost being a keyword. Get some Mediterranean rocks in there, you know, get some spatters of white. Spatters. It's a fun word. So it seems like there's a little, you know, something actually going on here. You know? No, select the dinosaur, not the fence, please. Your health is low, but you're healing, so that's good. You have enough prey, enough water, forest, good. Good. Now. This area is looking a bit empty, which is fine. I do prefer having something, so I'm just going to add some hedges. Yeah, just so that, you know, from the ground it doesn't look obvious that there's nothing going on. Yeah, I think that was a good idea. Yeah, so that way it's not obvious that I'm not doing literally anything with that area yet. But you can get up nice and close with our lovely Ceratosaurus, who will not eat the guests. And you can get a nice bit of coverage from the elements. Yeah, that's actually quite nice. Now, I want to label this area something to do with the Jurassic. I don't think that I have anything. Ah, yes I do. So, as you enter, we'll make it clear that this is our Jurassic area. So let me get the... turn off the path width. This will make sense at some point, I assure you. I assure you, dear viewer, this'll look good. If anyone is here with me. Here. Here. Da-da-da-da-da-dum. Make sure it says Jurassic. We're gonna do it like this instead. Because this is the entrance, you know, we want to make sure that, you know, you look at it and it looks like an entrance. At least that's the idea. I need a big old empty fountain. So where's my large fountain? Where is my large fountain game? I have not been paying attention as I scroll. Okay, maybe not that large. I guess that large is the option. We'll do medium. And we'll raise it. And then I'm going to add some statues to this. Where is... Show me Allosaurus. Actually, no. First, show me Ceratosaurus. And then I want Camarasaurus. Maybe not Camarasaurus because it's facing the wrong way. Brachiosaurus is a little too big. Concavenator, definitely. Dippy? Yeah, Dippy. So, Dippy right up there. And then Cuenca. A little higher. There we go. Scoot him up a little bit. Yeah, I think that's cute. I think that's quite cute, actually. Let me get a fence for it. Get a low hedge. Just so that the guests don't climb up on this, because I know that those dastardly guests would do such things. Pine trees. You know, these trees always seem so small when in an enclosure, but then you put them next to, like, literally everything, and suddenly they're massive, and you know, can't think about what else you can put in there. It's just like, it's one of those oddities. I'm just like trying to add some shrubbery, but I can't add too much, because if I do, then it's going to cover the whole statue. You know, it's going to make it impossible for photo ops. Alright, need some lights now, you know. Facility? Is that where it is? I don't even know what this tab is called. Is it literally just the decorations tab? Yes, it is. See, the thing about this game is that the lights don't actually do anything. They don't actually work. They're just kind of there. Like, they don't interact with the environment. Which is fine, but, you know, I'm gonna put Mr. DNA here. I feel like he'll bring the room together. So, get in. It's a nice little photo op. Okay, Mr. DNA here, who could definitely explain what's going down. And yeah, Ceratosaurus there, and definitely too close to the path there. More hedges. Alright, Concavinator's gonna go in this corner. I have decided that. So. Oh, I have a text message. That is not for me. That is going to a different group in the... Well, not a different group, but a different person in the group chat. Let me synthesize Concavinator. Get random ones. As Concavinator will be a deluxe creature in the next game. Let me make sure that I have enough Concavinators so that, alright, they only need one. Thankfully. It's a white one. Alright, and Concavinator is not too big. So I think I'm gonna give it a smaller paddock. So I'm gonna give it the glass walls first. If I can find them. Do a little bit of trickery to extend it slightly. A little bit of trickery. Because I feel like Concavinator is not like the biggest of security concerns. Cannot wait to be proven wrong in like 10 minutes when it becomes a major security concern, but I feel like Concavinator is kind of chill. You know, it's... I feel like Concavinator and I would be rather tight. Would never do anything to intentionally wrong me. There we go. Now this looks like a tiny little cage. That's because it is. Is this big enough for a concave? I mean, it's a single concavinator. Concavinator, concavinator. Quinquadrilator. Like, I feel like it should be fine. I say with diminishing levels of confidence. But, like, Concavinator is not a big animal. Right, so... For a single Concavinator, this feels like it should be fine. Again, I say it with, like, increasingly diminished levels of confidence. Giving it a little oasis. Needs a live feeder, because of course it does. All the carnivores in this game do. and that's only like marginally morally dubious. But like, you know, who's ever thought about morality when it comes to a Jurassic Park, you know, type of thing? If we ever thought about morality, we wouldn't have this series of movies. Come on, let's be real. Yeah, it's tiny. This should be fine. This should be fine. This is what everyone who has a beta fish says, and it always ends up so well. Because the beta fish is like, oh, they're tiny, it's fine. Oh, it needs a lot of water. I see. You are not a desert-dwelling guy. I apologize, Concavenator. I was not familiar with your game. Okay, we're gonna have to expand. Remember, foreshadowing is a literary device. Let me turn the custom length off. I'm just going to expand it by 1. And let me get the invisible wall. This should match. Yeah, it does. Let me expand the glass out as well. My computer doesn't crash. Very interesting. That there. Bring the wall back. There we go. This should be big enough for one concavenator. Does the game think the walls are 8 million feet high? Is that what's going down? We'll get some tropical ones. I don't want a full jungle. I want like sparses of it. Yeah, let me get some fern groves. And some mango trees. I wanted some of these. I guess some biosyn forest makes sense. Man, this is a really wet-loving boy, which, you know, I'm all for, but, like, you're really aquatic fella. You need slightly more area, but I don't feel like giving it to you, and that'll be a... Yeah, I remember when I was trying to make this, like, marginally ethical, but, there is no ethics. You are an extinct creature that I have brought back to life. I own you. So therefore, you are not allowed to complain about your enclosure being 1/10 of unknown measurement unit too small. We're gonna ignore the flying yucca tree. Big old tree. Big old tree number 2. Where are you? There you go. 100% happy. Look at you, though. Do not walk out of your enclosure. What the hell? Get back inside. Ugh, you're the worst. You know that? How did you even... Why did you do that? Why did you do that? You cheat, I have to cheat you back in. Those are the rules, alright? I don't make them. I just make them up. You're pretty, though. I don't think I've ever made a concavinator in this game. Which is, you know, big mistake on my part, because look at you. Very cool. A very cool creature. So glad I paid for it twice for Jurassic World Evolution 3. Yeah, but, you know, beautiful animal. Alright, viewing path. Because I cannot be the only one allowed to like the animal. There we go. Now the audiences will flock to you. Dearest concavinator, you have the intelligence trait? Sorry. Did I not pay attention? I did not pay attention. Is part of the intelligence trait that it can phase through walls? Is that part of the trait? Because that is seeming like part of the trait. Do I have to put it down? I feel like I might have to put it down. Okay, let me... Huh. I'm gonna put him down. Which means I need to make a new one. Where can I modify its... Alright, we're gonna try and make a new one. Synthesis complete. No intelligence trait, please. It's only got the intelligence trait. Discard. How likely are you to have the intelligence trait? 50 chance. Okay. Come on, game. Aggression? I can deal with aggression. I can't deal with a concavinator who will phase through walls to try and kill my guests. That I cannot abide, dear game. Okay. I can tell you're gonna... I need an electric fence. I need an electric fence for you. You go up there, you'll get zapped, dear boy, dear friend. You touch that gate, you're gonna get zapped. And that's what you get. And I'm gonna be replacing you, and you're gonna die. I'm gonna be euthanizing you because you're a bastard. You know that? With your intelligence. It's like, oh, look at me, I can tell the guests are there, and I'm gonna try and eat them. Shut up. You suck. I'm gonna get another... I'm gonna reinforce this with heavy fence now. Just so that it looks nice. This was a mistake. Mistakes were made. Come on. Nope. It needs to be like slightly longer. There we go. Now you are not getting out. You are not climbing over the fence or anything. You're gonna stay here. And maybe I won't euthanize you. Because maybe I like you. Maybe you can be pleasant. Maybe you can not teleport out and kill my guests. You jerk. You freaking jerk. Anyways. I should put something here. Don't know what, though. I also want to give him more rocks. Just so he has more things to not play with. Where are you? Not sure, but I know that you haven't broken out, and that is what I care about. Yes, the hand of God is placing down rocks so that you can play and you can be happy. Wow, aren't I so kind to you? Why is the transportation rating so bad? It's going from there to there. You really need... Okay. No, it's fine, it's fine. So what we'll do. Here is what we're gonna do. I don't need a boat tour. Where's the jeeps that I'm looking for? Or did I uninstall? No, I didn't uninstall that mod. I know I have that mod installed because it comes with the boat tours. So either I'm being stupid, very possible. Incredibly possible. It is seeming increasingly likely that I have accidentally uninstalled the mod that I need/hoped that I would still have. Which is not a good thing, because it's like expanded park tours. No, because I have the boat tour. And I have the dock for the boat tour. And I have the bridge. So, like... It might... Oh, it's right here. And then I can just, like, put that here, and then I'll have it drive around. But, like, there's no point to doing that yet, because, you know, I don't have a park that's big enough to warrant that. Let me continue this bit a little bit. Let me guess, that's not aligned. What are you going to try and do? Are you going to teleport through it again? Are you going to teleport through? Or are you going to try and zap the fence? Are you going to try and hit the zapping fence? Hello! Welcome to the live stream. I don't know when that chat was sent, but if you're here, hello and welcome. I've been dealing with this jerk who has not been nice to me. I don't know what breakout target you found, but I'm sure I'm not liking the looks of everything. Huh. Alright, we're making a profit. I'm gonna pause the game briefly. I unfortunately have to step away for a second. I'll be right back. I return my apologies, dear viewers, who are watching this in the future, for that brief intermission. But you know, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Anyways, Concavinator, you sure are an interesting fella, my friend, and I'm gonna leave you be, because now I know you can't escape, thanks to that electrified fence. I'm gonna keep your replacement ready, though, because I do not trust you. I have a horrible, horrible case of hiccups coming on. I can feel it. Let me put a cinema here. I'm gonna add a hotel as well, because I feel like we're lacking in capacity. No, I don't like the Jurassic World hotels. Give me this hotel. Yeah, this fun hotel with the pool, which I'll be able to modularly build in a couple days' time. Which, that's incredibly exciting, being able to basically do all of this, like, as, you know, like freestyle. That's incredibly cool. Come on. How could it not be? Let me just add some path to here. Just so that just for S's and G's. You know, it's gonna be a whole bunch of nothing, but, you know, I want to add it. Just, you know, get a little nature walk or something. Let me open the hotel by giving it some power, I guess. Just do a repeater substation, because I believe that, yeah, it's quiet and, you know, not really intrusive. Get some wooden logs here to kind of cover it up, though. That way guests can, like, you know, acknowledge its existence, but not really care. I'll figure out what, you know what, for this little walk in the park, this little walk through this whole area, which is supposed to be Jurassic themed, let me add a Patasaurus skeleton and a Stegosaurus skeleton. And then I want to add some walls. Yeah. Just so this area feels a little more like it's supposed to be something. Because, like, I don't like having, like, these backstage areas, like, super open, you know? I don't like seeing them. I think they're a bit of an eyesore. So, like, having little ways to block them off like this, I think is kind of what you should try and do with your parks if you can. And I do have the funds right now, so it is what I'm going to be doing. Bang. Bang. Like, no one wants to be able to see the back of the buildings. You know, we don't want to interrupt the flow of the experience. I hear an attraction is closed. Why is an attraction closed? Why am I losing power? Am I over? Did the fences push me over in terms of the amount of power I should be consuming? Alright, let's see what's going down. Uh-oh. Fences aren't electrified anymore. Where's my power grid? That's not good. Let's fix that. Okay. Let me fix all of this. So unless that little prick destroyed the fence, there should be no reason that he got out. And yes, if he wants to teleport out, I'm going to teleport him back in. Because I think that the ranger stations are incredibly ugly. Raise that intensity. Just like that. This whole thing is just that little bit nicer. Add some rocks of the, let's do alpine. Can I not get the massive ones? Can I get any of the smaller ones? Specks of white. The Medi rocks. And yeah, that's cute. You know, it's not great, but it's a little something. It's a little something for me. And I want to add other things, obviously, because otherwise, you know, it looks like kind of nothing right now. We'll add these on the corners of like major walkway areas. And one right there in the middle. One at the entrance. Yeah, and then let me just get some little ones. Actually no. We'll wait for nighttime before worrying about the lighting in the in this little nature walk I've got. Yeah, I think that's cute. I think that's quite nice. Now the guests can't actually walk into it, but that's neither here nor there. What would be neat if I threw like Dryosaurus or Microceratus in there? I think that could be kind of cool. Because I don't believe that they can break out. I'm not at a star level yet where I'm gonna be able to throw those in. Concavinator is pretty much done. Let me get Stegosaurus. You know, I haven't really. You know, you could see saying you found a target, but this is an inescapable prison for you, my friend. Alright, let me do some decorations of this area, because this is depressing. Stegosaurus family. And T-Rex family. I feel like that's good. And as you enter, T-Rex skeletal and Alamosaurus skeletal to welcome you. So you're welcomed by the sight of bones, and then you are greeted further by them coming to life. I think that that's a pretty nifty way of doing it, if nothing else. But I'll figure out another way to decorate this front area here. All right, Science Center. Let me see these fossils. How much Stegosaurus do we have? Well, Stegosaurus is definitely going to be a viable genome, which is good, which means we can expand our Jurassic area a little bit more. There we go. Stegosaurus genome is available. I don't know the star rating on Stegosaurus. I'm going to send over another exhibition for it, because I know Stegosaurus is going to be important. Probably going to be our Concavinator is, I think Concavinator is a 5-star attraction. Yes, it is. Very peculiar. But I feel like Stegosaurus is like one of those that, like, you know, come on, it's Stegosaurus. It's like, it's one of the dinosaurs everyone knows. I'm gonna open the drink stand again, as we are no longer bankrupt. There we go. We're actually having customers. Have a sculpture and an aquarium. Oh, now you're not making any money. No one's going to the falafel stand. No one's going to be going to it in general. So I'm just going to... I don't want it to be snacks. I want it to be like actual food. I'll put it back as Korean barbecue. But our park has the capacity for more people. It's just like whether or not they come in. Whether or not they get past this first area. It's very weird that no one's going into it, but you know, what can you do? We have the cinema, we have the hotel, and we have this lovely area behind the hotel. Which, you know what? I think I am going to. I'm going to put that fence there. I should be able to walk in it. Yeah. Because this area will just be for me. I'm thinking of putting Dryosaurus in here. That might be a bad idea. But all I gotta do is just throw some foliage in there for it to eat, and it'll be happy. And that's ultimately what I'm thinking, because I do want this to be like a viable park. Alright, Stegosaurus. I think that's all exhausted, so I want to finish off Concavinator. Have I exhausted all the formations I went to over here? I guess we go from Pachycephalosaurus to Pachycephalosaurus. So Lance Formation B. Yeah, they need significantly less dig sites in the next game. Just from a gameplay perspective, there's just I get that it's more accurate, but I like how JPOG had it much simplified. Because otherwise, you know, you just end up with 8 billion dig sites and like one for each dinosaur. But we have some... Ooh, Yoplus up. This will be good. That should get it to a viable state. I'm gonna replace some of that with Pachycephalosaurus. I mean, we already have Pachycephalosaurus. Let me just get a full Euoplocephalus genome. So we got another exhibition too. Yeah, that's another thing I think JPOG does better, is that the exhibitions were much more interactive in Jurassic Park Operation Genesis. You had like passive fossil income instead of like needing to send out an exhibition constantly, but you had control of like each region that your exhibitions were in. So I think that that's another thing that, like, you know, I think Jurassic World Evolution as a whole is better than Jurassic Park Operation Genesis, and I don't think that that's sacrilege. I think that's just, you know, the truth. But in terms of gameplay and like benefits from the gameplay, I think Jurassic Park Operation Genesis just has more going for it. Do I put an emergency shelter here? I think an emergency shelter would be kind of neat here. Kind of makes sense. The Biosyn buildings are typically smaller. Ugh. I just need like something to go right here. Unfortunately, that fits. So the restroom, it is. I hate how well that fits. I'm also gonna cover it up with some decoration, just so it looks a little nicer. Now this looks silly from the air, and it may also look silly on the ground. This is a scary face one. But it looks a whole lot better than a void to nothing, and that is wrong. Let me align the two. Let me move both of them back. There. Now the bathroom doesn't look like it's blocked, which is good. Which is a improvement, nonetheless. Alright, Dryosaurus will go in here, I think. But. Triceratops is now a viable genome. And I hate that it can't live with any other ceratopsids. Apart from, like, Pentaceratops. Who cares about Pentaceratops? Stegosaurus is also a pain in the ass, but Stegosaurus is good for one reason, and that is that it has the Lost World variant. And the Lost World variant is the only one that I will acknowledge. And this picture is different from the default one, but I'm going to ignore that. And I think we'll end it off with giving Stegosaurus a home. So, here's what I want to do for Stegosaurus. I think Stegosaurus is a very reclusive animal. That's my continuity for the park. It's a very reclusive animal, so we're not going to give it any front-facing viewing. We're going to have a herd of them in this very big enclosure. Like the largest enclosure so far. And they're just going to be in this little valley. I think this is the largest enclosure so far. It's close. Like, we're just going to have them in this, like, little valley area. And it's going to have a waterfall. Because of course it will. Know me? The answer is no. Alright, so this will have a waterfall going into that river. Let me get the waterfall so that it can actually go in there. Let me also set the time back to day. That was bright. If I'm going to take a gander at what mod is probably messing up the dinosaur behavior, I don't want to assume, but I feel as though it is the whatchamacallit. Which one? The expanded scenery that I haven't been using in this park so far, but I feel like it's the problem. And I could be wrong about that, but I definitely feel like there's a case. It's a little too high. It's a little too low. Yeah, I think that's good. And I gotta add some rocks so that the waterfall doesn't look completely insane. But that will do for the waterfall. I'm gonna need to add a little puddle of water up here, just so that it looks a little more normal. Not a lot more normal, but a little more. Yeah, let me add some ripples to to the bottom of it, too. Ugh. They're not exactly ripples, but splashes. Too much. Okay, not enough. But this is a lot. So I guess we'll just do multiple of these. Yeah, that looks good. Park is not at 2 stars yet, so I'm not gonna like move dig sites yet. But let me add the actual attraction I want for the Stegosaurus, which is this viewing gallery. And I want to add mist as well, because I think that would look cool. I think it'll lag my game to hell, but I think it'll sure look cool. I believe Stegosaurus likes ground fiber, so let me get some of that. Some of that fibrous ground coverage. And I want redwoods. You know, I thought I would get more. But that's why we have the placeable trees. Yeah, I think that mist is kind of cool. A dangerous storm is incoming. Great. Right when I'm about to do the Stegosaurus. It's notoriously one of the most annoying dinosaurs in the game. How many do I need? 4. All I need is 4. Skittish, aggressive, intolerant. I'm gonna get all of them except the aggressive one. Because intolerance and bigotry are always fine as long as no one acts on them. That is the American way. We accept intolerance, we accept hate in their hearts. They needed fruit too. But as long as they don't act violently. Okay, fruit, 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 fruit. Make it a little look. Ooh, That's kind of cool. It's not giving the exact vibes I was thinking, but it is giving a vibe, nevertheless. I think it's quite neat. See it. Let's see the Stegosaurus. And we have touchdown for Stegosaurus. This should be fun. It's got a big enough area. I say should be with diminishing levels of confidence, but yeah, it definitely has enough fiber. It should definitely have enough fruit when it explores the area. Check out you. Are you one of the movie ones? You are one of the movie ones. Oh my gosh. I do love Frontier's Jurassic Park Stegosaurus, like this pattern. It's so cool. Like, I never want to use the Jurassic World one, because the Jurassic World one sucks. But like, this one is just so good. I just wish it was the default one. And I will never forgive Universal for making the Stegosaurus look like that in Jurassic World. I don't think anyone should ever forgive Universal for making the Stegosaurus look like that. It's done irreparable damage to Stegosaurus. Come on. You're barely content, but now you should be perfect. I say should, but you just gotta like adventure slightly to the right to see the little bit of fruit that I just gave you. Please, I beg of you. I beg of you, it's nearly midnight. Come on, Stegosaurus. You're there. You're there. How are you at 90% comfort? Who is the problem? Oh, it's the storm. The storm is the problem. Wait, let me get a good look at you guys. Or no. Look at that. Like, even though, like, Evolution 2, despite not being super up to standard when it comes to the looks of everything, it can still be a really nice looking game. And Evolution 3 graphically just looks so much better, which is kinda shocking, because this game already looks really nice. Like, under the right conditions, you get some really nice looking shots. Like, I feel like that looks so cool. into the world for a moment, but like, let me check the view from the logs. Yeah, that's so cool. And then this view is kind of blah, who cares, but that's so neat. That's so neat. I love that. Let me just make the path go around. And let me adjust the terrain properly, just so the guests aren't like going off into this little pit. Because I hate it when like the fences are slightly askew. That's so good. Yeah, despite everything, which, like, you know, that's not really saying much, because I've always, despite my problems with the game, there's still not really any game that I would rather be doing all of this with. Like, I love PK. Like, but PK does not give the same vibes because PK is not finished, which is not default PK. It's just not. It's not a finished game yet. You know, they're working on it. It's in early access, but this game, it just gives me the right vibes. Which, that's all you can really ask for at the end of the day. It's just like the correct vibe. And despite all of its faults, this game is still really vibey. Let me get some snow. Just so that we can see these guys in the snow. Takes me back. Was it home to reset? Yeah. It just gives such good vibes, like as a game, as a series. Which I guess the first game doesn't really do that for me, but the second game sure does. Still need more fruit, you jerks. Right after I finish praising your existence, you demand more. There we go. You. Oh, are the girls fighting? The girls seem to be fighting. Ooh. Yeah, get this intolerant, skittish jerk. Not that I'm an advocate for, you know, violence with animals. Well, that's another thing I think needs improving, is the combat in Jurassic World Evolution 3. Because unfortunately, it is a very big part of this franchise. And it's just not like the carnivores are incredibly like dominant. And the herbivores just like keel over and die sometimes. Let me get some. I'll get some Struthiomimus to put with our Styracosaurus because I feel kind of bad for them. Like they're living in a tiny little place. I just 3 Struthiomimus. And if I need to put them down, I'll put them into another enclosure. But the Styracosaurus really need some love. This enclosure is not the biggest, and you know, they I feel like they could use some friends. Though saying that, I'm definitely going to expand the enclosure. I could have just released them straight out, but, you know, I didn't even know that at the time. And I think Struthiomimus, does it need leaf or does it need fiber? It needs leaf. So I'll give it some leaf. Some leafy climbers right here. A lot of leaf. Ooh, no. That might be an issue. It needs most of its territory to be leaf? Huh. I really don't want to do this with the pylons. I might have to. Actually, I'm going to move the pylons. Okay, I can't move the pylons unless I demolish them. But. That should be decent enough that I can give this Truthies their little area. Now, please don't revolt. Go on. Look at what I have brought you. So much leaf. There we go. Happy Struthiomimus. Might have to start building up a Cretaceous sections very soon, because I think we're at 2 stars. Nope, just barely under. So we're not going to move. We're not going to get a new dig site just yet. Gonna give it a moment. I think maybe I need like. No, this is fine. This is fine being a free, like, you enter the park. Here's some creatures. I want to maintain that. Like, you know, we can charge admission and whatever and have an attraction for this exhibit here. But not for these guys. These are little guys. You know, I don't want to impose my capitalist nature on the little guys. You know, they're too good for that. But we are starting to get guesses. The Stegosauruses were definitely a draw. Why are they only 2 and then some stars? These should be 5-star attractions. Stegosaurus, one of the most iconic dinosaurs of all time, is a 2-star attraction. Meanwhile, Concavinator, a dinosaur like barely anyone has ever heard of. Granted, it looks beautiful in this game because Emi Chu is a extremely talented paleo artist, and everyone at Frontier is an extremely talented paleo artist nowadays. This thing should not be a 5-star creature over Stegosaurus. What about Ceratosaurus, notorious bitch of the Jurassic? Notorious bitch boy of the Jurassic. What is your star rating? Stegosaurus should not be barely more in terms of appeal than the bottom bitch of the Jurassic period. No, that's ridiculous. Come on, game. If Triceratops and Stegosaurus are not 5-star creatures, then you're doing something wrong. Because this is one of the most iconic dinosaurs of all time. Up there with, like, T-Rex. Like, come on. They should be much higher in terms of appeal. Like, I get it. They're kind of early game. That's why you make them late game. Like, they already require such high security. Like, you should just make them... just make them higher star rating. It's like not... I don't think that's a crazy ask. But anyways, I'm going to get a nice little look at everything that we've built today. So, our lovely Jurassic fountain. Hello, Mr. DNA. Go around the shrubs, and we can get a good look at our concatenator. Gonna ignore the floating wall. And by that, I mean I'm gonna fix the floating wall. Come on, where's the floating wall? Come on, game. Don't do this to me. Come on, game. Okay, wall should no longer be floating. But we can take a look at our concavenator. We're going to ignore the slit in the wall. This is a nice little enclosure. You know, get a nice little look into the glass to concavenator, if we can find it. It's just like going to a real zoo. Can't see any of your lovely creatures. Oh, but there she is, far out in the distance. But if you keep walking down, you know, we have our little hotels, which you can, you know, take a nice little look into at get a nice better look at concavenator at least. Can't look into the Stegosaurus, which is kind of the goal. That's what we wanted. Got our heated swimming pool. And also, we can go into the Stegosaurus enclosure and get a good look at nothing. Oh, no, there they are. Hello, gorgeous, as they walk through their nice, steamy Lost World. So, I suppose that is going to be it for the live stream. Thank you all very much for joining me, and I will see you maybe tomorrow with another live stream. So, yeah, see you all later.